Our gospel today follows the Beatitudes we heard in last Sunday's gospel. Jesus is speaking to the heart last week, to all those who would hear him, this multitude who were gathered on the mountainside, and he was speaking right to their hearts. He was speaking to the poor in spirit. God's kingdom would be there for them. He was speaking to mourners. They would find comfort. The meek will receive. Those who are merciful would receive mercy. And on and on. We heard that last week. Today, Jesus is speaking to us again from the heart. And isn't it great because, well, so often in the Gospels, especially in Mark and Matthew and Luke, we have parables. And in those, Jesus takes everyday examples where he speaks to the heart to touch people. Today he's doing that again because he's talking to them about some everyday commodities they experience. He's talking about salt and he's talking about light. And what he's really doing, if I can kind of jump ahead a little bit, he's talking about knowing and doing, understanding and living. Salt, taste, we know about that, don't we? But we heard in the gospel today, if salt loses its taste, it's worth nothing but to be, trampled, thrown out and trampled underfoot. You know, I think I can find a practical use for that trample underfoot thing with salt, you know? Maybe you can too, but they didn't have that problem in ancient Palestine. It didn't get that cold. Nonetheless, though, the salt is not just for taste. The salt gets remembered because it's the aftertaste, the saltiness it imparts in food. But there's something else too. It was used as a preservative. You know, no refrigeration back then. Used as a preservative. So, the remembering the taste and the impression it leaves and the way it kept things kind of preserved. It's like taking us to the next step. The light. Well, light fills the room. The city on a hill example, especially at night. You know, when you're driving someplace, you see the glow of the city ahead of you, like your destination's right out there. Shining example. The light fills the room, so you can see into the corners. What's that phrase more from John's gospel? Light dispels the darkness. The light. Do so others might see. So we've got the salt, the preservative, the remembering part, and the light, illuminating everything so everyone can see. Well, why is that important? Let me jump just for a second to someplace else we didn't hear today. One of the shortest letters in the New Testament, but for people I know who read it, it's on their short list of favorites. It's James's letter. It's James's epistle. Very short letter. But one of the highlights in there is the phrase, faith without works is a faith that's dead. Faith informs. Faith informs and works puts into action. So think about salt and light for a second. Salt preserves. Salt kind of leaves the impression with us. But the light lets everyone see what's going on. Salt helps us remember. Light shows what's going on. Light shows what to do. You know, this is the Jesus who says, follow me. Jesus just doesn't want us to know. Jesus wants us to do. We have it in our heads and our hearts, but we get up out of the chair and go do it. Those are the things that are going on. Those are the things that are going on. You can see with your heart. See with your soul. Think about the gifts you've received. The experience of the sacraments, baptism and confirmation particularly. Put into practice what you know. Just don't know it in the head and the heart. Go and make it come alive. Think of the Beatitudes. At their heart, the Beatitudes are about doing. Knowing what to do and going and doing it. You know, blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the mourners. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst. Blessed are the merciful. You get the idea. The R is important. You're putting yourself right in the middle of things. You are doing it. You know, it's another cold day. My late father used to say, this too shall pass. Some month. On cold days, we're close to each other. Close enough to speak to the heart. On a day like today, let Jesus speak to your heart, warm you, illuminate you, and help you remember what we're called to do, and then invite us to go out and do it.